right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley looking sharp over there today. Look at you, big fella.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. I'm off
programming
bread.
note, tomorrow I got to do a little traveling, so we'll have an off day.
Oh, nice. I get a little vacation for
You
a day.
can have a little staycation there at
Okay.
TV 13 and do your thing,
All right.
as I'll be on the road doing some election stuff and on my way to Lansing at this time tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, should be just pulling into Lansing about now. So
Nice.
anyway, weekend. I got snowed in. What'd you do?
Pretty much the same. And you missed what I said at the very beginning. I said
What?
I'm off bread. You
Off
just
bread?
completely glossed over bread. I'm not eating bread anymore. Well, not
Oh, okay.
anymore. I severely cut back.
Okay.
Right. Just trying to eliminate a lot of sugars.
Well,
Trying to up my energy a little bit.
Okay.
So
well, good
yeah,
for you.
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to better myself
Yeah.
physically. So we'll see. We'll see if it takes. I've been jonesing for a sandwich though. I love sandwiches.
Well, you should have
And
a
I'm
sandwich
like-
wrapped in lettuce. That's the thing that people are doing.
I don't see that. To me doesn't count as a sandwich. I've been eating a lot of salads. I like meat and grains have pretty much been what I've reduced my diet to. A ton of meat.
Okay.
I'm really carnivorous. I like to name the food before I eat it. Like,
Do you
know,
really?
hey, this is Joey, or this is Phil, or this is Janice.
Okay. Well, good for you.
You know,
I'm excited.
it's good.
Thank you for that.
Tasty.
Because you know what I woke up today? I woke up today and
Okay,
I
here
go, God,
comes.
I wonder what Dave's doing with his diet now. It was the first thing on my mind. I really did. You wonder. I tell. The first thing I wanted to know today was, what is Dave going to do with his diet? Now I know.
Fine.
I feel better about life. I feel more informed. I feel a better friend. I feel I can have a more supportive role in everything that you do. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go out today just for you. I'm going to get done the jobs I need to get done. I'm going to run the errands I need to get run. And then I'm going to stop at the Hallmark store and I'm going to buy you a card that says, congratulations on your new low-carb diet. And in that card, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a $2 bill just as a souvenir. It's a momentous occasion. And I want you to hold that $2 bill. I want you to put it in your sock drawer. I want you to hold that $2 bill and think to yourself, wow, that's the day Andy thought of me because I decided I was going to not eat bread. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And then in a week from now, when you break your diet because you can't live without a sandwich, or you go willy-nilly into it because you found some loophole like you always do, I want you to spend that $2. And I want you to go to the dollar store or the day-old bread store, and I want you to get those loaf of Wonder Bread, and I want you to throw a loaf in the air, a piece in the air, and woo, like that, and go, it's me with bread again, and I can have pop, and that's what I want you to do. Can you do that?
You know, all I was trying to do was let you know that I'm trying to do something for me.
I'm trying to be supportive
Cutting
in
back
that
on the
role.
carbs. Didn't say completely eliminating things. Just wanted to give you a little heads up that, hey, this is how I'm living my life right now.
And I'm being supportive in that role. What more do you want?
Because I sense some sarcasm there.
No,
I sense some
no.
insincerity on your part. Just
Dave,
a tinge.
how many people listen, I'm throwing in the stop in my incredibly busy day to go to a Hallmark store to buy you a card.
Okay.
And then I have to go to the bank and get a $2 bill out of them. That's not easy to do.
Right. No, it's not.
Okay, you keep
Sure.
watching your mailbox. That's where it's going to
I
be.
can't wait.
Rural
can't
Route
wait.
3 somewhere in BFE, Michigan, and we'll send it
right.
right down to the house.
Appreciate that.
You
All
got
right.
it. What's in the news?
Okay, let's get into a lot of stuff we could have talked about today, but for some reason, Starbucks
What?
seemed to just trump everything over the weekend. Protester planned at a Philadelphia Starbucks where two black men were arrested after store employees reported them for trespassing. Now, according to police, the men asked to use the restroom but were denied because they hadn't bought anything. They then refused to leave. Police arrested the men, then released them because of a lack of evidence that a crime had been committed. Now, what do you think this was? Do you think this was a racial issue, or do you think it was because the employees were overzealous enforcing a rule that, hey, no, we're only letting customers use the restroom. We don't want people loitering. What do you think it was?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Great answer. That's a great answer.
I'd be willing to say that,
You don't know.
dude, you know what? If you got a bathroom, you ought to let people use it.
I agree. Totally
And
agree.
I will grant you the
Absolutely.
fact that sometimes when you're in a big city, in a large setting like that,
Mm-hmm.
that all right, pick a Tigers game. You go to a Tigers game, and you got a handful of businesses all around the Tigers, Comerica Park, and things like that. You know what? You just got to kind of say, okay, people are going to come in and use the bathroom today, and that's the way
Right.
it's going to be.
Exactly.
What do? You
You
can't
know,
have peeing in the street.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Like it's a stupid
there
rule.
should be some leniency on
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely. And I'll give you an example of what happened to me. This happened about 10 years ago.
okay.
Z's Bar and Grill, downtown Grand Rapids.
Yes.
I was working a weekend shift at the radio station, and afterwards, I just swung by Z's, and I was gonna just blow off a few minutes because I didn't have anything else better to do. So I got a water. I didn't know if I was gonna order anything. I just kind of like watch. I think it was during football season, so I might have been watching a game or something. And the manager, there was like maybe one other person in the place. So it was like me and one other dude. It was, like I said, about noon, 1 o'clock. The waitress manager came over to me like 2 different times, asked me if I wanted. I said, no, not right now. He's like, well, you can't just have water. You're gonna have to, order something. You're gonna have to go. So I left.
All right.
Okay. That was it. I could have refused. I said, no, I'm gonna stay here. And then they could have called the cops and arrested me for loitering. It's basically looks like what happened here. Now, was this because of race? It may have been, but it seems to me the more likely thing that it was employees are overzealous, like the woman was with me a decade ago over at Z's. But it seems to be that because these were black customers, the narrative is always going to be in the news. The narrative is going to be presume racism. No evidence. You had the perfect answer. Was this racial? I don't know. I don't either. But presume it is, because that's what's going to get clicks. That's what's going to get people interested. That's what's going to create protests. It's ridiculous to me. I don't get it. I don't get why it's done.
I spent yesterday afternoon talking to a guy up in Twin Lake on my instant messenger on Facebook, and what people can't seem to grasp anymore is, you just said it, news, clicks, viewers, all this other kind of stuff. Everybody wants to accuse the media today of being propaganda, right? Everybody wants to accuse the media today of being slanted, and everybody wants to accuse. And I'm going to come right out and tell you, and you can corroborate this story or not. I don't necessarily think that the media is propaganda for either side. I think that the media is heavily branded on either side. And I think,
yes.
Okay, hear me out.
You're right.
It's heavily branded on either side, and it's done not for the right or the left. It is done by the corporate entities that own these media companies, and it's done with one thing in mind, and that's to increase time spent viewing or time spent engaged with their social media or their their YouTube channels or whatever the hell else you want. This is branding at its finest. Okay,
absolutely.
It's done by both sides of the coin. You've got heavily branded content on the right and the left, and everything that goes on in the media today is designed to retain your viewership, your listenership, your interaction, because that's what drives numbers, ratings, revenue, and it's all driven by corporate entities, and that is why the media is what it is today.
I think you're absolutely 100% right. They know who their audience is. CNN knows who their audience is. MSNBC, Fox News, they know who's watching. Yeah. They tailor their programming to what the corporate end, like who's our advertisers? Who shops at these stores?
Yeah.
Who are we pissing off, or who are we bringing in by running this or running that? And then you go, see, honestly, that's the problem the NFL is having right now, and why they forgot who their audience is. Okay, the NBA can do that. The NBA, you've got a much. I don't want to say the NFL is not as diverse, but you've got people aren't tuning off the NBA even when the NBA goes political. Okay, they're not tuning it off. Same with the NHL. The NHL doesn't deal in politics. They're smart about it. Yep. They know they've got their tight fan base they want to hold on to. The NFL kind of forgot about that a little bit, and they lost viewership because of it. And it's one of those, these news organizations are smart enough to know who's watching them and what they need to tailor their newscast to. You can debate whether that's right or wrong. Is that real journalism? Is it not? I would say it's probably not, but
I don't think it is.
It's a business like anything else. I think journalism, in some ways, I hate to say it, in some ways, it's dead. In some ways,
it is.
I think on the local level, there's still a lot of good reporting of local stories that happen.
Right.
But across the broad spectrum, it's dying. If it's not dead,
it is so heavily branded, and it is done just to drive profits. I'm here to tell you what, that is the truth, and you can believe me or don't. I don't care. But every time everybody fires up it's all propaganda and all that other kind of stuff, it's not. It is sincerely, heavily branded, and it's done with the intent to keep you glued to that TV, and it's bottom line driven, period.
Yeah. The propaganda is the green.
Huh?
The propaganda is the green. You've got, like I said, like MSNBC and CNN appeal to the coast. They appeal to Los Angeles and New York. That's where their money is. That's where and you could say the politics to an extent too. And then Fox News just goes, okay, we're going to take middle America. Yep. We're going to tailor everything towards this group of people.
That's how it works.
And they do the same thing. And you could say it's propaganda, but I think you're more correct in saying it's the corporate entities that say, hey, you go this way, you go that way.
I know.
This is where our audience is. And like I said, you can debate whether that's right or wrong. I don't think it's good for journalism necessarily. It's good for business, not good for journalism.
Next story.
All right. This is very sad, but Gunnery Sergeant Hartman has died. Actor R Lee Ermy, who was nominated for a Golden Globe for that role in the 1987 film Full Metal Jacket, passed away due to complications from pneumonia. Ermy was an actual Marine who served in Japan and Vietnam for several years and was awarded the honorary rank of Gunnery Sergeant. He also appeared in the Toy Story movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003, played a police captain in Seven back in 1995. One of the greatest, I think, most underrated scenes in any movie ever was in Seven. He's sitting there, he's talking to Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, playing the detectives, and they're going over these murders that have been ongoing. All of a sudden, this phone rings, and he just reaches over, picks it up, and goes, "This isn't even my desk." Slams it down, and then boom, just goes right back into it. It was so good and so understated, but God, he was great. He was like, It seems like America got let's like, he was what a man is supposed to be. You think about, like, okay, what's a man? It's R Lee Ermy.
Well,
and then there's the rest of us.
There was the character, and then there was the person, and off camera, he really wasn't what you saw, with the. All that. He was right. What I've read and what I've heard was he was a pretty good-hearted guy and a pretty family-oriented dude and all that stuff. So yeah, sad loss. Good character.
Yeah. Finally, numerous schools in West Michigan and Muskegon have a 3-day weekend due to this past weekend's ice storm. Kept us both inside. Many back roads, side streets still caked with snow, slush, and ice. Muskegon Public, Montague, Fruitport, Hesperia, White Cloud among those with an extra day off. I drove in this morning at 4.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, well.
I mean, some of the back roads, you could have just said, it's sorry, buses aren't going to travel on the non-paved roads.
Right.
And then just made people, they just gave the kids a day off to give them a day off. There really wasn't a major reason.
Pretty crappy out.
I drove in at 4 a.m. Nothing's going on.
What a hero.
What's going on? We're fine. Get to school.
You drive in with Ebola, so like I'm supposed to give you a hero's medal for driving in at 4 in the morning.
No, but my point is the roads were fine this morning. Really,
okay.
Some of the back road side streets weren't very good. They had very few accidents this morning. It's a little silly to give them the day off, but whatever. Hey, they're kids. They have to go to school, 8 months out of the year. It's awful. I know it's so tough to be a kid. Jesus. Sports, the Jacks host the Chicago Steel in the first round of the Clark Cup playoffs. First round at LC Walker Arena.
Tonight.
Andy O will be there.
In the house.
They fell to Yep, doing your thing. They
Doing my
split their
thing.
final 2 games, beat Team USA 5-4, then fell to Youngstown 5-3, clinching the 3rd seed in the playoffs. Home ice, best of 3 series.
Tonight.
Take back to win tonight, win tomorrow. You move on.
That's what we do.
Make it done. They won 5 of 7 in the regular season against Chicago. So if history is any indication, you can pretty much advance them to round 2. Yankees, Tigers postponed. Tigers 4-9. They're not going to reach 500 this year. I'm sorry.
Believe.
Long spring and summer for Detroit.
Believe,
Whatever.
Dave. Believe.
No.
I'm going to put my believe cushion on you right there.
No.
All right, you're out of here. I'll talk to you Wednesday.
See ya.